Okay, I'm not even sure if you can hear me. I hope you can. But let's talk while I clean up my kitchen. Um, so I want to talk a little bit about why I haven't been posting. And I am not saying it from a point of view where I believe that the only way we are relevant to this world is when we are posting online. But I had set an intention for myself, which, if you've been following me for a while, you may have seen that there was a point in time when I was posting with a certain level of consistency. And that was because I had set an intention for myself share more, to share more on this page, Adventure and Authenticity, and on my YouTube. And well, I was gonna bullshit you and say life took me in another direction, but the truth is I got scared. Actually, let's forget about cleaning the kitchen. I'm just filming in my dirty kitchen because it has great light and a cute plant. um, I got scared. My Instagram page, which is now Adventure and Authenticity, and my YouTube page, which is chereeselavonne / Adventure and Authenticity, my Instagram page originally used to be a more personal page, and I'm talking about from almost 10 years ago. I think it was called This is La-Vonne, and then I changed the name later on to Soul Mirror, and then I changed the name now to Adventure and Authenticity, and I'm trying to stick with this one right now. But it originally was a very personal page back when I was Miss Jamaica Festival Queen in Jamaica. And I think at the same time I also was doing bodybuilding. I came fifth in a national bodybuilding competition. I know that's probably not impressive, but for me the whole point was to get my body to a certain space that I loved, and I succeeded. And in general, I was more active online, but I also think those were the times when Instagram felt a little less intense, and like you have to show up as this perfectly well lit professional, although in a dirty kitchen. It was a time when it felt less intimidating, and so what I shared felt like me to just share with people down the road, and especially because at that time Instagram was very much a way for community be created. And I'm not talking about online community, I'm talking about events. I used to host poetry events in Kingston, and I used to go to poetry events or different sort of cultural events where there's community that was created around a page. And something about how overwhelmed I feel by everything being online, especially post 2020, made me a little afraid that posting not go get me no views, not go get no connection. And the point is connection. And I think also sometimes when it feels like you're talking to the whole big effing world, you have no real context to speak. And that has been a challenge for me. That has been a challenge for me, maintaining my authenticity with a Virgo mind that is so good at picking up patterns, and who lives in between multiple cultures, America, Jamaica, Mexico, who can pick up on different ways of being and different things that are interesting to different groups of people. And so I feel like I have this much wider view of life than I did 10 years ago when I started the page. But at the same time, it's such a wide view of life, it feels like I know who may I connect to. And so that's why I haven't been posting for a while. I have been struggling literally on this adventure in be my most authentic self, to figure out exactly how I want to show up. What I've decided for now, and what I'm playing with, and what I hope works in the sense that it connects me to community. And when I say community, I not just mean online. It means say we can host events, we can plan retreats, we can plan a concert because I sing, we can do whatever we want. And I know that there are real people that are connected to me in this space, and not just from a fan or a follower point of view, but like people who respect each other and co-create together and want to see what each other is creating. And so I am hoping that this page is successful in that way. And what I've chosen to do is not forget my Jamaican roots, not even my Jamaican roots, my Jamaican self, not forget who I am as a Jamaican, even though right now I live in Mexico. And it's a very curious experience belonging somewhere, Mexico, where you also don't belong at the same time. It's also a very curious experience being shaped by living outside of Jamaica for what, the past 6 years, and then before that there was also a 3-year period. So in total I've lived outside of Jamaica for almost 10 years. And it's a very curious experience when you go back a yard and somebody in the Uber, the taxi say, "Oh, where you come from?" And you have to be like, wait, so I don't look like someone come from here. And so I've decided that the people that I'm speaking to, and if anybody else want to listen in and get value, is fine, but the people that I'm speaking to are the people like me who have a Caribbean identity and have experienced living outside of it, or have experienced wanting to explore their identity outside of just the way the Caribbean say you must be, whatever that way may be. And so just basically exploring the limits of what it means to be a Caribbean person, what it means to be a Caribbean person but still be whoever the fuck you are, and what it means to be a Caribbean person and also exist in other cultures, probably because you migrated, or your parents migrated and you're first gen, or your grandparents migrated, or you still live in the Caribbean but you now have a global perspective, because we all do, and you're negotiating the who, the what, the of yourself in that process. So that's why I stopped recording or posting, and that's my intention for continuing to post. And if anything I said in this resonated, let me know, and I'll see you again sometime soon. Bless up in my unclean kitchen.